All right, everybody out there, what's up? What's up? It's your boy Sammy Socialite.
It's your boy just JT.
And we here giving you the first episode of our podcast that we haven't named yet, but we're working on that.
We are currently working on that right now. Don't worry, it'll come soon.
But you know, we got a lot of interesting stuff to talk about. Welcome to the first episode.
Welcome.
The podcast is basically going to be, you know, your entertainment, both sports entertainment, music entertainment, a few current events. You know, you gotta talk about what's going on in the world, and you know, music. Cause my boy JT, he a music head. He knows a lot about that shit.
Yes, sir.
And, you know, I listen in my spare time, which ain't much, cause I don't have no fucking spare time.
You don't have no spare time?
Nah.
You gotta make the time, bro, man.
Shit, there ain't enough time in the day. But we're gonna kick it off over the quarantine that we've been in for fucking how many months has it been? Like 7, 8.
Jeez, it's like it happened in March. It was made 7 months. 7 months.
I can't count, but 7 months, man. This shit has been crazy. But some of the entertaining stuff that we've had to deal with, you know, it's been some good entertainment. And one of the big things that has been keeping our attention over quarantine was the Verzsus Battles on Instagram.
Did you think it would ever get to the point of where it was? Because remember at first, like it started as an IG live.
Right.
You know, between Timberland and Swiss Beats, but then you know,
and it was random.
It
was random as fuck. They just hopped on Instagram one day, and everybody on Twitter is like, Swizzy and Tim having a battle now on Instagram Live, and it's like, oh,
I ain't gonna lie, I still remember some of it. It's like they were playing. It was just fun because like it was just so refreshing. And then you start seeing like other artists doing it slowly. Right. And it's just like you just want fun to just take away from the quarantine because at that time shit was stressful. People didn't know what was going on, and so to see it switch from IG Live to where it was, right, to Teddy Roddy and Babyface, it was crazy.
And then the live link ups now, you know, with the people in the same space singing their songs and shit. That shit is dope. But I didn't see the Swizzy and Tim battle. I didn't. I heard about it. My first one that I watched was the Dream versus Sean Garrett.
Oh, you didn't see that one?
Oh, yeah. That shit. And that one was funny because I was anticipating it. I was waiting to hear it. And I'm there on time.
Right.
And so is the Dream, because, you know, that's what real niggas do.
Right.
And this nigga Sean Garrett was nowhere to be found.
I have no idea what that nigga was on.
Well, he was obviously getting drunk because when he finally showed up, he was clearly slizzard. But that was the first one I watched, and then, like, I'm an R&B head, so
right.
I didn't really do too many of the hip-hop ones, but the R&B ones I was there for.
It was, the R&B ones, I'd say the R&B ones are like they were much better than the rap ones. Some of the rap ones are good, don't get me wrong, they were good, but the R&B ones made more sense.
What was one of your favorite Verzsus battles?
Alright, the first one, Timberland and Swiss Beats. That one, when it first started, that was pure, that was fun. I like Jonta and Neo. I like that one. That one was cool. Good as mutual.
Yeah.
I like that one for sure.
That's my favorite.
Randy and Monica was hard. That was hard for me. Just think what else?
It was Luda versus Nelly.
Well,
How did you feel about that one?
Luda versus Nelly, that one was good. And I knew Luda was gonna win that one. I like that one. That was good.
I mean,
Jada and Fab was good because I knew Jada was gonna whoop Fab ass.
I knew that was one I wasn't watching. I don't like up north music. I don't want to hear that shit. They can have all of that shit, like literally. But it was crazy because, like I said, you know, it's on Instagram Live, but everybody's talking about it on Twitter.
I mean, a lot of it. I mean, I'm originally from Chicago, so I'm listening in North, South, here, there, everywhere. So I had to tune in because, you know, I grew up listening to East Coast music, but then, you know, when I got to college, that switched over, but that still was something that I listened to as well.
That's
why I enjoyed it.
I didn't even think Jadakiss had 20 songs to do.
Oh no, Jadakiss whooped that nigga ass.
But apparently, and that's the crazy thing. People said that happened live, just whatever. But nah, my favorite one was Jonte Austin versus Neo because
I like that one.
I know what kind of bag Jonte Austin be in, and so for me. And Neo, I'm not even gonna lie, I'm one of Neo's biggest fans. Like I love his writing, I love his songs. Like I put on for Neo, but I was ready for the world to see Jonte Austin because not only does this nigga write 5 songs in real life, I love the show Star, and Jonte Austin made all the music for Star, and that music was amazing.
Makes sense.
Like that nigga is dope.
Nah, Jonte was dope. He killed it. Him and Neo both killed it, but like Jonte killed it.
Right.
Smoked it.
I mean, when you got songs with Aaliyah, like it's kind of like you out Neo league. I mean, Neo has a song with Rihanna, but then Jonte Austin turned around and had a song that he wrote for Rihanna. So it's just like
song Beyonce. Neo got song Beyonce
of course,
too. So he played that at the end though. That's nice.
Jonte's Beyonce song better because he did Dangerously in Love. Like
that one, because that was a classic.
You cannot beat that shit. Like
it's classic.
But the reason why we bring this up is because it was announced recently that there'll be a season 2 of Verzsus.
Yep.
I didn't know this current season ended. I mean,
I didn't know there was even going to be like a season like at all. Like when they said season 2, I was like, damn. The only thing that comes to mind when I think about it is, damn, we've really been in quarantine for that long to come up with a new season.
Still,
like, what the fuck?
And still in quarantine.
It don't seem like it. We live in Atlanta. It don't seem like it, but yeah, we're still in quarantine. But it don't really. Shit.
Atlanta been out of quarantine since Memorial Day. That shit been piped up every fucking weekend.
I don't know if COVID left Atlanta or what. I don't think it did.
I don't know, man. I mean, the numbers is still rising, but
I don't know.
You know,
like I just don't know. Like
that's another story. We gonna get into COVID a little later.
Yeah.
So on season 2 of Verzsus, there was a lot of battles that didn't happen, that could happen. Mm-hmm. What you thinking? Like who you think you'll want to see?
Truth be told, well, it's probably never gonna happen. But I want them to finally do the.
You cannot say my favorite artist. So if that's where you're going with this,
all right, I'm gonna leave that. I'm gonna leave that.
Do it.
I'm gonna leave it that because even though we know, it's not gonna happen.
You want to see the Usher Chris Brown?
Yeah. I want to see it, but I know it's probably not gonna happen.
I want to see it because everybody out there, y'all know Sammy Socialite, biggest Chris Brown fan ever since 2005. So I don't even hear that shit. I've been fucking with Usher since motherfucking 97, so it's like it's a tough ass battle for me, but I mean Chris just got way more material. Chris Brown could easily, like he said, that nigga could win that battle on features.
Right.
But I think with the time going by, maybe Chris want to do that shit now.
We don't know. But the thing is, my only issue with that whole thing is that, of course, we all agree, Usher, as far as quality, is the more better superior artist. But people were making it seem like, at the time, people were making it seem
quality. Why? Because he has
Confessions, 8701, Huawei.
Really? I mean, Chris Brown has.
Hey, don't get me wrong. I'm a huge fan
of Chris Brown too.
I fuck with Chris Brown.
I think this is a quality over quantity type conversation because this nigga Chris Brown has so much music that I honestly don't think people get to it. Like that nigga has bangers.
That's true.
Like I said, Usher does features too. Usher got some dope ass features, but on the real, Chris Brown can do a 20 song feature only battle. And it's only a few artists that can do some shit like that. Yeah. Like, if we just doing features, Chris Brown versus Trey Songz could go against each other because they both got hella features.
Yeah.
That shit would be dope.
Yeah.
But what about the rappers? There's a lot of rappers that didn't battle either. Who you think? I don't know, man.
rappers, I'm trying to think. It's kind of hard. It's kind of hard to say for rappers. I paid attention to it, but I paid attention to the Verzsus the whole season, but like not enough to where I just follow. I'm just just picking and choosing which artists I would like to see go back and forth. I just wait to see what happens, see if it's a good matchup.
Okay. I'm like, okay, so all of them weren't just people from different city type battles. I mean, it was people kind of close or whatever. So like, I feel like a Young Thug versus Lil Baby battle would be too pipe. But I also feel like maybe I'm saying that shit because they're both from Atlanta and I'm from Atlanta. But I think that they could compete. Like this nigga Baby, of course Thug has a bigger catalog.
Right.
But in the short amount of time, these last 2-3 years that Baby been relevant, that nigga hasn't missed.
Yeah. He has missed.
I think
I get why, but yeah, Thug with White Baby.
So what about like if Kendrick was to do a versus battle, what rapper that's obviously still alive, what would give Kendrick a good battle?
As a matter of fact, I would like to see the Kendrick and Lupe battle. Go ahead.
Kendrick and who?
Kendrick and Lupe. So I can finally sell that shit. I would like that.
They got beef?
Ain't no beef. People try to put it in, and I guess people try to put it in Lupe's people try to put it on Twitter in Twitter's heads. Like they try to push this thing where they say Lupe doesn't like Kendrick, where Lupe has said numerous times when it came to Kendrick, there will always be comparisons of him and Kendrick. And Lupe said before, he says that he's the better lyricist than Kendrick, but then Kendrick's a better artist. Now, with that being said, for me personally, I do agree on that. Whereas Lupe's a better rapper, but Kendrick makes much better songs. Now, having said that, me personally, Kendrick is a good rapper, but also I could see as to where I honestly would hear them on the track together. Honestly, to me, it would be as if I could see Kendrick, if they get on the track together, I could see if Lupe was to slip up, Kendrick would get him. But this Lupe's track record is high. Like she's A1. As a lyricist, as a rapper, it's A1. Like nobody, to me personally, nobody can really see Lupe like that as far as rapping. I'm talking about just straight skills. Straight skills.
I don't know. I've never really checked for either of them like that, but I definitely, if I had to listen to Kendrick or Lupe, I definitely would listen to Kendrick. Kendrick has, like you said, to me, he has better music, like he has better songs, I guess. I mean, Lupe got a few songs, but I'm a hit dude, so that's why me and Kendrick don't really get along, because if it ain't like a hit banger that I can do at a club or something.
You told me about that. You like club music more than like lyrical rap. Yeah, I like both. I like more lyrical rap.
I'm not trying to be doing too much thinking when I listen to my music. Like I just want to hear that shit at the surface level. Like niggas be trying to make you goddamn do a thesis breaking down what the hell they talking about in their songs, and that's just not my type of shit.
I mean, it's a time and place for it though. I mean, you ain't gotta listen to it in the club.
I ain't never trying to hear that shit. But speaking of Kendrick, is Kendrick leaving TDE?
No, he was not leaving TDE. What happened was, I'm not, even though I know you're probably not a fan of, you're not really a fan of Kendrick like that. But back when quarantine first started, Kendrick had founded, him and Dave Free had founded this new agency called PG Lang. It's a service company, and people were saying that Kendrick was leaving TDE, and they had their own. He had his own label, in which there wasn't really like a legit source in regards to that matter. There wasn't really a legit source that made it very true. And so Twitter was just running around with the narrative that Kendrick was leaving, and sure enough, shortly after, Kendrick and Punch ended up responding to it.
Who is Punch?
He's one of the presidents of Top Dog Entertainment.
And this is like common knowledge to people. Like people that just know this shit.
Yeah.
I couldn't do it.
I've been following TDE since TDE, and I fuck with
TDE got it. I mean, if it ain't Schoolboy Q, I ain't really checking for what TDE got. But that's all. That's
your personal.
Absol, right. Absol rubbed me the wrong way. I don't fuck with Absol like that. I mean, SZA, the SZA count.
SZA's part of TDE. So yeah,
I mean, I rock with SZA, but then again, like, look at how they do their artists. Like, niggas is not dropping music.
Not really doing that artists. I mean, they know exactly what they're doing. Like, it's always been like that. Where it always the TDE is they're the artists. They're the label where their artists, they always are able to drop quality music. They're the type of artists where they follow the old school way, whereas they'll drop an album, and they'll drop it like every 2-3 years.
I don't know. They're giving me good music vibes. Cause Kanye wasn't letting niggas drop ever, unless your name was Big Sean or 2 Chainz. You wasn't getting to drop music like that. That's why we still waiting on the Saha album that will never come.
I have no idea how that's.
And see, Saha's one of those type of rappers that I don't fuck with, but
why you don't fuck with Saha?
But because he's one of that type of rappers that I don't fuck with. But I will say that I do actually give Saha a chance because he's from Atlanta. So I do give Saha a chance. But I'm still waiting to hear an album from
I
this
have
guy.
no idea when that album's going to come out.
Nebuary.
The way it's looking, yeah. February.
I mean, we've heard. I don't even think Kanye is Kanye even still running good music? Or is Push running?
Push is the president. Kanye just out here trying to be the fucking president. I would rather not talk about that shit. It's just something.
Well, speaking of, the president, etc. This nigga LeBron finally got his 4th ring out of 10 tries. I mean, that's yeah. Okay. Congratulations. That's dope.
Right.
I'm not a LeBron hater. I'm not. I respect what he does, and I would love to have been able to be a LeBron James fan, but unfortunately, I'm an Atlanta Hawks fan, and LeBron has crushed our dreams multiple times.
Multiple times.
Including a time that I was there covering the games.
Yeah. And
just to see how he demoralizes the Hawks every time he plays. Like, LeBron makes it his deal to do 36, 12, and 12 every time he plays against the Hawks. And that shit hurts. But congrats to this guy.
I give him props, man. I give him props. Like I said, I'm just like you. I respect his game. I respect him as a player and what he does, but like he's not personally my top. Jordan and Kobe are my guys. But in regards to this, the only thing I will say about Bron is that for me personally, I feel as though after this championship, he's proven to carve his own lane as far as how he won his championships, and
right.
He's in his own lane. It's to where you can't really deny that he is. You can't deny that he's not a GOAT. He's a GOAT, obviously. Having said that, I do believe that he's not MJ.
He got a Space Jam movie, so I mean, you got to be the GOAT to be the lead of Space Jam.
True.
So
he is. LeBron is not MJ. That's what I got for you. He's not MJ.
I do want to shout out Anthony Davis. Like, it's good to see him get a ring. AD is one of the, people say LeBron is one of the hardest working basketball players. That's true, but AD is one of the hardest working basketball players I've ever seen in my life. Like, he single-handedly was carrying the Pelicans on his back for years. Like, if you go back and look at him with the Pelicans, this man scored multiple 40, 50-point games like it was nothing.
Right.
getting 50-point triple doubles.
Right.
Like, he's a baller, and he needed that change of scenery.
I'm glad. I'm happy my man's got the change of scenery because he needed that.
So shout out to AD. Whatever the Lakers decide to do next year, I'm sure they'll be right back in the picture. Shoot, they're lucky though that the NBA figured out how to do this bubble because, you know, it was looking like the season was lost at a point.
Man, look. Let me tell you, man. Like, I didn't know what to think about the bubble. I didn't know it was going to be a success affair. I ain't really trust it, but they pulled it off. It worked. So for that, you know, I'm impressed. The NBA did everything right. You know, so I'm gonna give them the props. Whereas, you know, NFL hasn't really. They just move like they can't be touched when it's just a fucking disaster, bro. It's a disaster.
I had doubts about the NBA bubble, but I don't know. I mean, I guess watching what they did, you know, they had a few players that had it at first and they had to wait to come to the bubble. But once they had people in the bubble, like there wasn't cases that popped up. They had food every day. The food that they were having originally wasn't good, that the players blasted on social media.
Right.
They bought in personal chef companies, changed the food, let them bring a family member in eventually, like, and nobody got it. So kudos to the NBA.
Hey man, kudos to them. They got it right. And it worked out at the end.
Dunce hat to the NFL, my league. I watch football more than anything. They have their protocols that they have in place to help teams not catch COVID. However, the simple fact that they're running on the regular schedule, like they're still allowing, like teams are still flying across the country to play football games. There's not like centralized locations. Some teams, and the NFL left it up to the owners to decide whether they wanted to have players in the stadium or if they didn't. And about half of the teams, they don't have fans, but the other half, they do have fans.
Yeah.
The Falcons just started letting fans in the game.
A certain amount, right?
Right. I went to the game this past week against the Panthers. They were expecting 20,000 fans, but only 6,000 fans showed up. But I think that says more about the Falcons.
Yeah, they finally got rid of that nigga Dan Quinn. Thank goodness. Like, bro.
It's been a long time coming. He got us to the Super Bowl, or should I say, the person that's been back to the Super Bowl since our Super Bowl got us there. Yeah. So I don't know if it was Shanahan that did that or if it was Quinn, but obviously it wasn't Quinn because we've been sloth. For the last 2 years, we've been sloth. Like,
at this point, it's for y'all. It looks like it's time for a rebuild at this point because it's like shit been going down the drain. It's just not working. It's like, you know, people were talking about they want to get rid of Matt Ryan and shit like that. And I don't know, I'm conflicted by that. As far as for y'all, you know, Matt Ryan has done his job well. Well, I watch very well to me personally, but everybody else in Atlanta says otherwise.
Matt Ryan, one of the only non-black quarterbacks or players in this league that I will put on for. I have a lot of respect for Matt Ryan. At the end of the day, that man be out there trying every season. People don't see that. They still stuck on Mike Vick, which we haven't had in years. So I don't know why they still worried about Mike Vick. Matt Ryan's been our quarterback for 13 years at this point, y'all. Y'all gotta let that hurt go.
I don't know if they're gonna let that hurt go.
They gotta let that hurt go. But if he has to go, Julio gotta go. And I love Julio. Best wide receiver in the NFL
why do you think Julio gotta go?
When he's on the field. That's part of why I'm saying that, because Julio missed too many games for me, man. It's like you really can change the game when you're on the field. But when you're not on the field, who does that help? Like, you getting paid second most money in the NFL for a wide receiver right now, only because DeAndre Hopkins just got a stupid contract. But I mean, all I'm saying, if Matt gotta go, Julio gotta go. They both gotta go at the same time. Like, our new quarterback cannot get that Julio cheat code. No, he gotta work with Ridley. Ridley is a dope ass receiver. If he can't make it work with Ridley, oh well, he can't have Julio, man. That's Matt. Julio Jones is exclusively Matt Ryan's wide receiver, bro. Because people say Julio the best. Yes, he making the catch. But guess who's been the person throwing the ball to him every year since been in the league? Matt Ryan. But anyway, enough about those niggas. Getting back to this COVID shit. What's up with the government who, for a lot of these months that we've been on quarantine, has tried to make us believe that COVID is not real or it's not serious. But then they all get it. Including
the president.
That guy.
Bro, like, it's been like since the year started, it's just been a whole entire shit. So like, bro, like it just don't make no fucking sense, bro. Like, y'all were feeding this lie to us, saying that nothing was really wrong with COVID, telling us to live with it, telling us you got it under control. When it's quite obvious that they never had nothing under control. As you recall, prior to Trump catching COVID, it was tapes leaked that Trump knew how bad COVID was, but he didn't want to downplay it because he wanted to be the hero to do it. But it's just, man, it's a mess.
Do you think Trump actually had COVID?
Yep. That's the way he was coughing in them videos, the way he was acting, it was some shit, bro.
I mean, if I really wanted to believe he had COVID, I would believe that he had it before this most recent time, because he was out too quick. Like, unless they really got like secret medicine for the president or something, because
I think he still got it. I mean, he's not going to. I feel like he's probably not going to die from it, but I do believe he's trying to lie. It seems like he's feeling good, but I do know that shit beating his ass. He's taking a whole bunch. He's taking a whole bunch of medicine. He's taking a whole bunch of things to keep him going. So
because he's definitely at that age where that shit's supposed to be a very severe risk if you get it. Like, a lot of people don't survive if they get COVID over the age of 60, let alone 70. And
a lot of older, well, not say that.
And he's finna be pushing 80, but nobody wants to talk about that.
Man, look, bruh, I feel like he got it. He trying to act like everything's good, but damn, it's not.
Go vote. I'm not a politic guy. That shit
I ain't either.
That shit makes me kind of. It's a sensitive topic. I don't like talking about that shit, but please go vote. Can't tell you who to vote for, but if you look like me, I don't want to hear no excuses. You know who we gotta vote for.
You know who we gotta vote for. Get that maniac out of fucking.
Please, my God, I don't want to hear no. The Democrats don't have a plan for black people, because at least with the Democrats, we get a chance to have a plan for black folk. Whereas we've seen what this guy's done for 4 years. Do you really think it's gonna change for another 4? Just think about some shit.
To think, bro, like, we're just now seeing the effects of these 4 years just now this year with COVID. Like, we're really truly seeing it. It's like it's been a fucking disaster. Like, it's been a complete mess.
It hasn't been pleasant. Well, another thing, Twitter is like my main news source and shit.
Sort of mine too. It shouldn't be, because a lot of shit on there. They put out like false info shit.
Right. Well,
I get so.
It's like the best of everything in one app. Like,
because you get everything before the news.
Like, okay, so I have a CNN app, when I could just follow CNN on Twitter, and they gonna pop up on my timeline with the same shit that's gonna be on the app. I mean, yeah. But Meg Thee Stallion, and no, we're not about to talk about her and Tory Lanez. I don't think. I mean, I guess that could fall under that category. But what did Meg do this week?
All right, so she penned an open ad letter on, I think, New York Times. She penned it, and pretty much what she was talking about is, I'm just trying to pull some of it up, the video right now. She was just talking about the phrase, protect black women, and she was just talking. She's reading. Well, she penned an opinionated editorial, and she's basically talking about why she speaks up for black women. She says she's not afraid of criticism. She's not afraid of what's going on. And she said that protect black women is not controversial. I guess I'm going to read some of it. Let me just read a part that actually matters. This is... all right. All right, let me start here. It says here, she pens here, after a lot of self-reflection on that incident, I realized that violence against women is not always connected to being in a relationship. Instead, it always happens because too many men treat all women as objects, which helps them to justify inflicting abuse against us when we choose to exercise our own free will. From the moment we begin to navigate the intricacies of adolescence, we feel the weight of this threat, the weight of the contradictory expectations and misguided preconceptions. Many of us begin to put too much value of how we are seen by others. That's if we are seen at all. The issue is even more intense for black women. We struggle against stereotypes and are seen as angry or threatening when we try to stand up for ourselves and our sisters. There's not much room for passionate advocacy if you're a black woman. I recently used the stage at Saturday Night Live to harshly rebuke Kentucky Attorney General the Coon, I'm not going to say his name, for his appalling conduct in denying Breonna Taylor and her family justice. I anticipate some backlash. Anyone who follows the lead Congressman John Lewis, the late civil rights giant, and it makes good trouble necessary trouble, runs the risk of being attacked by those comfortable with the status quo. But you know what? I'm not afraid of criticism. We live in a country where we have the freedom to criticize elected officials. It's ridiculous that some people think that the simple phrase, protect black women, is controversial. We deserve to be protected as human beings, and we are entitled to our anger about a laundry list of mistreatment and the neglect we suffer. Like, it's a lot. Like, pretty much talking about the struggles of being a black woman. And, it's valid. It's a valid point. It's valid.
That is, I mean, she's right.
Yeah, and like a lot of times, black women, they're not just saying this for no reason, saying they don't feel protected. I mean, it gets shown on an everyday basis, like, when it comes to, how they don't feel safe when they're out in public and men are harassing them sexually or just harassing them, catcalling them. They don't feel safe at all when it comes to sexual abuse, because a lot of times when a woman gets assaulted, they always put that on her, and they never blame the man. Women are always killed. Women are raped. This, that, and the third. Like, it's no lie. Like, there ain't no reason why. There's no reason as to why they're saying what they're saying. It's the reason why. So it's like you can't just dismiss it. You know what I'm saying? You can't really dismiss it because in retrospect, things black women, they have it the hardest. Like, they have a lot of shit they got to do as far as being a woman, being a black woman, not only dealing with racism and the white supremacy, but dealing with patriarchy and dealing with black men who are uncomfortable with black women who are their full selves or powerful beings, and who may be better, smarter, and more, who may be more up there than men. Because these days women been bossed. These last several years, women been bossing up way more over niggas, whereas women are like much more in power, much more money, has more of this than men, which is very questionable as hell. Which is very fucked up. Because now women been bossing up, doing better jobs than the men. A lot of men they're not really pulling up there in the bargain. Like, a lot of them it's just a lot of fuck shit that made me go. And it's like,
I feel, as a man, you got to recognize, the shit that, sometimes that we do towards women. And, it's our job as men, if you're mad, it's our job, to just let all black women know that we see them, we're there for them, we support them, we love them, we back them. And so that's all they're asking for. A lot of times they get a lot of pushback, and, at times it doesn't really, make sense as to why it does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a lot that comes with it. I say that because, I'm not, he is a black man, I'm not perfect at all. I have my days, I'm still learning. But what I do know is that, it's very important that we have to, acknowledge the women in our lives, Cause ain't no telling, like, the amount of stories we hear from our homegirls, our moms, girlfriends, best friends, like, they go through so much shit. And even shit they probably not even tell us. It's like, it's our job to let them know that we're there. It's our job to, have them be comfortable with us. If a black woman's not comfortable with you, then it's like you failed as a man. Comfortable to be yourself, comfortable to come to you if she is having an issue, comfortable, to come to you if she feels as though, she's not being represented properly. So it's our job, to protect them while they're in the front lines, doing what we can to protect them. There's too many times black women engaged, they're on the front lines. That's meant for black people. Whereas, a lot of black men, not saying all black men, some black men just been on bullshit.
I don't know, man. It's kind of crazy for me having to be a black man apologist right now because, like, I honestly, but everything that you said about the women can apply for black men. Like, yeah, they say the black woman is always holding the black man down, but every time I get on my Twitter, it's black men ain't this, black men ain't that, black men ain't this, why don't they do this, why they do that? So it's like, it's like a bash fest for men, and it is men out there doing shit. And like you said, women was always on the front lines. I mean, that shit sounds crazy to me because if I remember correctly, most of the black history I know about, yeah, women was there, but it was black men trying to do that shit too. So even today, like, with the Meg statement, no, she's not wrong. Yes, protect black women. But why do black women feel like they have to specifically say that right now when it's issues going on with not just black women, but black men as well? Black men are getting killed. Black men are getting treated like shit on a daily basis as well. And it's kind of like, it kind of divides the race when it's like protect black women, because not only are they saying that to the white people, I feel like they're saying that to black men too, because in their minds, and not saying that they're wrong because sometimes this shit does happen, right, but I feel like in their minds they're saying, well, like, we don't get protection from anybody. Black men don't protect us and white men don't protect us. And I think that's false. Like, I see a lot of black men protecting our sisters. I
do see that more in reality as well. I feel you. Like, you, like I said, we both black men, so it's like, I agree to some degree. Yeah, I agree that, a lot of times, like, when you go on social media, you know what I'm saying, you would think that, if you were to let social media dictate it, you would think, black men are demonized, like, are the most evil, like, are getting demonized. I noticed that trend on social media, which is completely fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Granted, like we said before, like I said before, women are not alive. There's a lot of black men doing a lot of fuck ass shit to these women, and shit can be dealt with.
And a lot of black men doing a lot of fucked up shit to black men too.
That's true.
I'm gonna say that too.
No,
it's not just the women.
No, it's true. No, I'm just saying though, like,
it's good niggas out there though.
I'm just saying it is.
Well, let me not say niggas because people don't like me if I refer to men as niggas. So there's a lot of black men. Man, fuck this shit. There's a lot of black niggas out here doing good too.
Thing is,
But when a bitch get on, oh Lord, I said it. Oh man, they gonna kill me. Okay, when a female gets on, I can't say that either. I gotta say a woman. Okay.
A woman.
See, but you see how mad y'all get, right? I can't even use my typical terminology without y'all getting mad about some shit. Like,
I get it. Even though me personally, I feel the whole female, like the whole male female thing to me is personally stupid. But at the same time, that's how they feel. You know what I'm saying? I can't really take away how they feel.
You can't tell nobody how they feel.
But I will say this though. Like, I do agree. I see too many black men getting demonized, and that shit's not cool, like, at all. It's not cool at all. Where most of the time, mostly black men, I'm seeing them being demonized 24/7. A lot of times, a lot of women say, they say on Twitter, it's like, if you're a guy, they say this as well. They say if you're a guy and you know what you're doing is right, and you wouldn't have a problem with women saying how they're saying. And to a degree, you're right. I wouldn't have a problem, but
they need to flip. But flip it, because we can say anything about a black woman and they're jumping down our necks, like, instantly. Like, that's how that goes. So why do they really feel like black men, anything a black man says is a derogatory criminal act against them when they out here doing the same shit about black men? And even if it don't apply to them, they get upset.
I will say though that black women and black men, we have a lot more in common than normal. A lot of times I see on social media they play this struggle Olympics shit, which is so fucking corny. I hate that shit. They play the struggle Olympics where they say who has it the worst, and it's just wild as hell to watch. I like to watch black women and black men go against each other on there. It's just it's so counterproductive, because it's like in the real time.
In the real world,
in real time, I see so well. Maybe it's because we live in Atlanta, we live in more black popular areas. But in real time, I see all the healthy black relationships, black friendships, black relationships. I see a lot of that often. Whereas you on Twitter, they'll make it seem like it's just some bullshit.
Right.
It seems like there's no bullshit going on, but it's like it happens.
Majority of my friends are black. I love it, but like you said, we live in Atlanta. Yep. If we live somewhere else, we might have more diverse group of friends, maybe. I don't think I would, but
it's like this is a problem, like with the black people as a whole. Like outside of rights, it's like so many issues that go on with us as a people. Because outside of racism, it's just not only these issues outside, but there's so much internalized issues that we have to deal with. That's like we're dealing with, patriarchy. We're dealing with homophobia. We're dealing with masculinity issues. Dealing with patriarchy. We're dealing with transphobia. We're dealing with racism. Well, not racism in the black community, but we're dealing with colorism. We're dealing with all types of shit. It's like it's so layered up and it's so complex. It's like it's just so much issues. It's like issue after issue after issue, and it's just like it's gonna take, like, for us. We all want the main thing that black people, what we all want. Everybody wants, black liberation, to have our own. But it's like a lot of black people have different ideologies and how they want to handle things, and it's like everybody's in disagreements with each other on how to do certain things.
Constantly.
It's constant. It's just like it's just a lot. It's just we're in disagreements with a lot of things, and it's like we're not on the same page.
It's really depressing to think about, because that's one of the biggest.
We all got our own personal issues.
We know the biggest issue is everybody has their own personal issues. Like,
and I see that too.
So when are we going to step beside your personal issues and think about the issues of people besides just yourself? And that's one of the detriments of the black community. Like, most black people were raised to not worry about what they got going on over there, because what mama used to say, I don't care what Johnny doing in school, what you gonna do? It's my house. We worried about what's going on in this house.
Right.
And that simple ass shit from school has translated into the real world, because we don't really try to think about how it affects another black person.
We don't have a lot of leadership. We don't have a lot of legit leadership with us, with our generation as well. And plus, as you see it with our generation, it's just we're realizing we're the generation. We're trying to realize we're so knee deep in the fucking trauma that we have growing up. And there's a lot of people trying to break the generational curses and the drama and shit. Like, bro, it's a lot. Like we said, it's a lot of personal. And when it comes to a lot of these stuff, when it comes to just being woke and feminism and shit like that, in some cases for certain people, there's always something. I feel like it's not. When I see social media, it's never now these days. It's never genuine, because it comes from it always comes from a personal place with some sort of motive. In regards, it comes from a motive as far as where they've been done wrong in their past life when they was younger, And it's like they're taking it out on on the men.
We'll never be able to have black leadership because black people always gotta find that one thing wrong with somebody that look like them, bro. It's like ingrained in the DNA, like just like
people try to act as if we're so progressive. We're not that progressive. We try to put on the front as if we're progressive. Really, we're just as full of shit.
They want somebody perfect when they 90% imperfect.
Like, bro, like that's why it's like a lot of this shit just be capping me, bro. Like a lot of shit cap. It's like, of course, I do believe all black people, all black women, black men, black gays, black trans, everybody deserves to live a good life. But it's like, it's just so much issues within all of our communities that we have to resolve. It's to a point where it's like, in order for one to be a leader, I feel me personally, I'm not really an expert on politicians and leadership and all that shit, but just based on what I've seen. The only way we can have a successful leader is someone that's, someone has to be one completely selfless. One has to be confident. One has to know what they're doing.
There's no human on this earth that's completely selfless.
Yeah, you're right though. But it's hard. But like, it's a rarity.
But the white people okay with that. They let them people get away with that shit. But a black person could never, right? As if we all perfect. They gotta. We gotta do better, bruh. Like simple shit like that.
Like it's way deeper. Like it's so much deeper than that.
Like so many people in this election are hating on Senator Harris. And I understand she has faults and flaws. Mm-hmm. But motherfucker, don't the goddamn president got the most flaws out of everybody in the country right now, and he's the president. So come on, like some stuff you just gotta let go, work around for the greater good. And that's what we be missing.
Right, man. Right.
But shit, we gonna wrap this up with our last segment. The thing, see this, I listen to music to get me away from thinking all this negativity about where we going and shit. That's why I don't like all the lyrical rappers, because they be talking about that shit in their music. So give me an R&B nigga all day. So my guy Trey Songz just dropped a new album called Back Home.
I didn't get a chance to listen to it yet.
I listened to a few songs courtesy of Pandora. Yeah, I still have Pandora. As soon as the album dropped, they automatically pushed that shit on the radio station. So I heard a few songs, and he's taking it back to R&B days, like not as sexual as Ready, but I'd say like Just Gotta Make It or Trey Day type R&B songs. And it was straight the stuff I done heard. But shit, who else has dropped some new shit?
I've been bumping 21 shit.
Savage Mode 2.
Bumping that. Let's see.
I love.
Shout
out to 21. That's my nigga. Love him. Only heard a few songs. Again, courtesy of Pandora, because they be playing that shit. It sounds good. I was such a big fan of Savage Mode 1. I know that, like, because that was so long ago for Savage. That was immature Savage. He was rapping about the same shit. So I'm scared to listen to Savage Mode 2. I'm not gonna lie.
It's good. Super good. He still, the thing is, he's still on that fuck shit, but he's more mature about it.
Okay, he's still.
He's grown as an artist.
Pull up at your mama's house and put some rounds in.
Oh yeah, he is. He still do.
Okay, I need that. So I'm having to go check that shit out. Shit, anybody else drop some new shit?
I listen to Reason from TV. I know you don't like that shit, but I listen to him. I listen to this nigga from the crib, Chicago, named C. Honcho H5.
C. Honcho H5.
This shit go.
I've never heard a single song by that guy.
I know, but that nigga shit go. He's from the crib, he's from Chicago. Also, Rocky Fresh Plus from Chicago too. He had dropped mixtape, Slap to just to show you what's up. I listen to that shit hard. YG dropped the album, My Life 400. Listen to that shit.
I saw YG's new album on Apple Music actually this time. But the reason why I saw it on Apple Music is because I was listening to Pandora and they played a song with YG, Tyga, and Chris.
Yeah.
Don't remember the name of it. I think it's like Rodeo or some shit like that. That shit,
Rodeo.
Yes, that shit's so hard.
Oh yeah, the old boy had a song with Southside and called Yes Sir. Yeah, you know they got to.
I was about to say 21 Savage trying to make it seem like he created Yes Sirski.
It's been out. His little group did it, but apparently Dope Boy saying folks have been saying it. Like it's been a whole little small thing that's been going on.
Why do people be acting like they like words is theirs?
Bro, the lingo is universal, but folks typically think.
Like I said, people exactly like glizzy. Glizzy means something completely different in DC than it does in Chicago. Like,
right? Nobody be calling the glizzies like that. Glizzies in Chicago. That's like a decent term and shit.
But people in Chicago was saying that shit for hot dogs. That's where that hot dog shit came from.
Yeah.
The DC shit, they talk about glizzies and guns.
I think I heard that before. Glizzies, they talking about glizzy guns.
Right. It's so, man. Thank God for Urban Dictionary because they actually put in the time to put all these definitions because everything means something different. But, you know, I appreciate you being here with me, goddamn. We gonna...
Appreciate it being here.
We still ain't got no name.
That's a shame, but we gonna figure that shit out.
Definitely. You got any shout outs you wanna do?
Alright, shout out my folks at Drunken Intellects, my girl Lena B, my boy Jack. Shout out my other co-host for the C.A.P podcast, my boy Eric G. I want to shout out a few folks, shout out my barbershop family, shout out the big homie house, my nigga Kodak, and them. Shout
Kodak
out.
Black.
What?
Kodak Black?
No. The Kodak from Clark Atlanta.
Gotcha.
DJ Screaming. Who else I want to shout out? Shout out to HBC, Young Alumni Association. Shout out to y'all. Shout out to fam. Bash coming again soon. Can't say when. What else? Shout out all my black creatives who I know on Twitter. Shout out my creatives in Atlanta. Shout out everybody all around the globe and whatnot. Shout out my homies, shout out my family, shout out guys, shout out you, Sam, for letting me get in the pod. You know, we got some things coming together, and shout out being able to get this work in. You know, start shit up, and just jumping off the porch and just getting shit going. You know?
Alright, no doubt. Well shit, you know, my first shout out to my co-host JT. Put his shit out on Twitter the other day, and kind of ironically, you hit me up because you kind of was like one of the people that I was like, I hope this nigga hit me up, because you know I'm Sammy Socialite. I don't just like hit niggas up like, hey, you want to do this shit? I want to see what the people talking about. So shout out to you, bro. Shout out to Fade Life Clothing. That's what I'm rocking today. Go get some. FadeLife.com. Please go ahead and shop with them. Shout out to my people that support me. Passive Pen Media is the company. We going up. Make sure you look out for all this stuff. Book us. Photo shoot, party photography, cinematography, weddings, parties.
Niggas
all
is
this
working.
shit. Gotta get to this bread. And shit. That's it right now. You know, if you want to contact me, get at me on Twitter at Sammy_Socialite. What's your Twitter again?
My Twitter is just JT.
Alright, and we'll see y'all next time.
Alright, see you later. Peace.